Yes.
And I was also very proud that I was coming from a very large family. I'm the youngest of 11, and I was very proud of it, and I was the Benjamin, but I read that you were one of 17.
Yes, I am. Yeah. Yeah.
How did your parents do that?
Yeah, well, to me it's quite normal, of course, and I understand that people are laughing because nowadays you don't hear that anymore. But yeah, I don't know how it came. We were not religious, but it just happened, and to me it's quite normal. For my brothers and sisters also, of course.
Okay.
But it is a large family.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We came.
The youngest, or what?
Yeah, and we have 17. I'm number 16. I have a sister, a younger sister, and and my parents lived in Wijkzee. That's like the Jordaan from Amsterdam. That's a very poor neighborhood, and we moved to Ondiep, also a poor neighborhood. And but yeah, every year my mother was pregnant, and with a very small house. Yeah, for sure.
I counted.
Yeah, I'm planning. Yeah. So we didn't have much money, and I slept also in a small bed beside the legs of my brother. And always playing outside because in the house there was not space enough, and yeah, but everybody in the neighborhood knew, of course, the family Den Hartog because of the size. And yeah, and at school we also had, in every class we had a brother or a sister. Very nice. Yeah, yes, but like I said, for us it's quite normal. And every Sunday when we came home to my mother, because my parents divorced. And sorry, that was every Sunday. Then we came home, and it was quite busy, and we also brought our own children. So it was very crowded in the city, and my mother raised us alone. And she did everything by herself, but she always stays the boss. It was very, how do you say, honest and straight. And even when she died at the age of 89, she was in bed, and we were there with all the brothers and sisters and the children, and we were all grow up with our children. And my mother yelled, "Keep your mouth shut and go outside." And the average age was about 60 years, and we all stood like this, and we said nothing, and we went out. And she still was the boss. Yeah, it's great.
She was
she's great. So that's how I was raised. And we also didn't have money to go to study, to go to college or whatever. So after school, we have to work. We couldn't learn, and so we have to be clever and working your way up on your own. Not with education, but thinking about seeing chances and everything. That's how I was raised.
Okay,
great.
That was made.
Yeah, I'm very proud of my mother, of course. Because from the 17 children, there's no one is criminal or on drugs or whatever. All have good jobs. So,
okay,
very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think you have already the audience.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So I leave the floor to you.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. Well, that's how I was raised, of course. And immediately, when you're not well educated, you have to see chances. And I started working at my 17th. I did many jobs, but I didn't like it at all. And at one time, I worked for the ABN AMRO bank, but that was nothing for me inside. And I wanted to work for myself. And what I liked was selling flowers. And I would like to have a stand in the city of Utrecht, in the center. And everybody says, well, Rich, it's not going to work out, you're not going to succeed, because we tried that already for several times. And indeed, I saw a place at the Vredenburg market, near the station, and every time there were these two guys from the city of Utrecht. I don't tell them the name, because every time I came to them with a new plan, it was no, no, no. And then finally I saw a spot on the Steenweg, that's the main big road in the center of Utrecht, and I didn't went to these guys, I went to the higher people, I don't know how to say, the wethouder. And I asked him, is it possible for me to get a flower stand? I didn't have work at that time, it was also a crisis. And Mr. Van Hassel is his name. I'm very grateful that he helped me with that. And he said, yes, I'm gonna give you that spot. And these two guys, what I talked about, they came every week to bother me. It's too much flowers over there, it's too big, get in. And terrible time that was, but I worked my tail off 9 years. And even when it was hot, 30 degrees, or when it was freezing, I was standing there outside, worked 7 days a week. Until my brother had a pub in the Mariastraat, and he stopped, and I could take it over. So in 1 week I sold my flower stand, and next week I had a pub, but it never worked, and I didn't know what to do. So I stand there and I had the keys, and now what? So I took 2 girls from Dick Dries, a very famous pub over here, to help me, and they told me, okay, this is what you need, this liqueurs is going to be sold, and that's how I started up. So as I get older, I did very well. I invested some money in other things, in real estate, and nowadays I'm so grateful that I got the chance to start at a flower stand. And several years ago I saw this guy who helped me, Mr. Van Hassel, and I saw him, he was cycling in the city, and I held him, and I had 2 bunches of flowers for home, and I said, Mr. Van Hassel, do you know me? Yes, you're the flower man. Yes, I am, thank you very much. So I never got the chance to thank you, because you went away and I never saw you anymore, and now I see you here. I said, but can I give you this bunch of flowers? And it was so funny, and yes, thank you very much. And then I realized that without being helped by several people, by some people, that you never get a chance. But it made me a fighter, that I never give up. Like I said, for wanting a flower stand in the center, it didn't succeed, but you only have to hear one time, you have to hear yes. 100 times no, there's no problem, but the one time that they say yes, you can get it, then you have it. And I was so grateful that I saw this guy, and nowadays, later I thought every time I had to do something back for the city, because I wasn't well educated, and without being helped, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be what I am now. And that's what I decided several years ago, that was Miffy. Was 60 years old, and 60 artists get a statue, a white statue, and they have to make art of it. And I called the mayor, the secretary of the mayor, and I asked if they went for buying one of these statues. But they didn't have the attention, so I got angry, because Dick Brunner is coming from Utrecht, and said, well, then I will buy a statue, and I like to give it to the city. And then I got called to the chief from the Nijntje Museum, and I was invited on the auction in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, and I was there with the mayor, the chief from the boss from the Nijntje Museum, Wim Pijbers was the big man from the Rijksmuseum, and the CEO from Klepjere, Hooggetreide. So I was there with, I was just, I have a pub, nothing more than that, and these guys were with me, and it was so funny. We were walking the Rijksmuseum. I said, nice, that I invited you, and so it was great. And there I bought this statue, and I gave it to the city of Utrecht. And nowadays at Nijntje, that is, it's one of the most photographed statue in Utrecht. And every time I walk by and I see the children and the parents taking pictures, like, yes, my statue. And it still is mine. I didn't give it to the city, because then they own him, and then they can take it away. So I gave it to them as long as it's okay. But this is still my property. I own it still. But for 100 years they can keep it, because I'm very proud of that. And it was why I wanted to give something back. And I started thinking about something else and to do for the city. And then we were at my bar in an evening, and we were drinking, and then we had about playing with words, and then we came on the water. And then one of the guys said, oh, de gracht, that would be a nice name for water from Utrecht. I said, yeah, that's good, but mostly when you are at the bar, you have a nice conversation. The next day, you don't remember what we talk about. So I wrote this thing, the name, on a paper, and the next morning I saw it. Yeah, I'm gonna do something with that, and that's how I invited thought of Ode Gracht. And but the thing is that it's not my core business. I don't make money out of it, but it's only to have a good souvenir for the city. And Stefan, my good friend, he designed the bottle and the logo and the type of the letter. And here behind, there is my cellar. I own a cellar along the Oude Gracht, and that is where I filled the bottles, and I did everything myself. I stickered it myself, and I filled them with, there were 5 cranes where I put it on. And it was the mayor, he saw it, and he think it's great that he wanted to have the first bottle. And it was last year it was 35 degrees, and we were outside with a lot of press, how do you say press, yeah? And colleagues and other people who were invited. And I took the mayor inside and said, do you want to see how I fill the bottles? Yeah, okay. So we went in and he was laughing. I said, are you really doing this in your own place, in your bar? Yes, I do. I put them on the table, 5 times, and the big rain. Okay, fill, next. So I do everything myself. And nowadays, shops and restaurants and everything, they are calling me, Richard, can I have 2 boxes of Ode Gracht? Yeah, okay. So I jump on my bike and I go to the city, and it's all for free because it's not my core business, my main business. I didn't know how much I had to pay for the bottle and for this. So when I'm this bottle, as you see, and I also have a bigger one, this cost me about €3.75, and I sell it for €4, but I have to do everything myself. And the musea and the tourist information, they sell it for, I think, €7.95 and €9.95. And you saw the comments on the internet, oh, that's much too much for a bottle of water, but it isn't just water. It's the only souvenir, I think, is based on the Oude Gracht. If you know something else about a souvenir from the Oude Gracht, I hear it, but every souvenir in Utrecht is about the Dom Tower. So I'm very proud of it, and I really hope it's going to be successful. I had to stay all forever because I am too busy with my pub, my restaurant, to work there, and this is what I do when I have time, then I deliver it. But I'm not very good in marketing. So I hope this is going to stay and last forever. And if one of you have a good idea and want to take it over for free, then it's okay. But it has to stay, because the name is so great and awesome that I really like it when I have this souvenir forever, because I'm very proud when I see it in the restaurants and you get a bottle from it for free, because that was actually the main thought, that when you go out to a restaurant and you order food, then you have to buy a bottle. And I don't like it. It's my business, but I don't do it. I always give it for free, because when you have your dinner and a bottle of wine, then it's nice that they give you the water for free. And one of the thoughts was that when I sell these bottles to my colleague, they put it on the table, then I hope that you say, whoa, that's a nice bottle. Can I buy this? Yes, we have them over there. You can buy them, $7.95 and $9.95. So they make money out of selling you a souvenir, and you take it home, so you are satisfied. But the water in the restaurant has to be for free. But not all my colleagues are that kind, and so not everybody is taking these bottles. They still stay by selling water for a lot of money, and that's not what I like. So I'm still busy by coming in with my colleague. Then I have a small suitcase with a small and a big bottle, and I come in and say, listen, is this something for you? Will you like to buy this from me? Yeah, think about it. And then the next week I come back again with my suitcase, and I stay coming inside, and only one time do I have to say yes. And then finally, after 5 visits, yeah, okay, then bring me 5 boxes. Okay, so I'm on my bike again. So that is why I invented Ode Gracht. It's a great thing, but actually it's about giving also water for free in the restaurants. And that's what I like to that's what I want to do with it. But if one of you or someone else like to take it over, it's okay, it's an opportunity, and you can make it bigger than it is. So I hope you're satisfied. And it's a small the thing about what I told you about Eau de Gracht, but it's important that we don't make money with selling water in the pubs and in the restaurants. It has to be for free, and that's what I wanted to do with Eau de Gracht. So I think that's my story. It's a small story, and I hope you're satisfied with it, and I hope you liked it. And I brought you all a bottle of Eau de Gracht. Thank you for coming to hear me speaking about this this thing. So thank you very much. That was it. If someone wants to know anything, you have questions, please shoot them at me because.
Is it a refill?
I'm here. Sorry.
Is it a refill bottle instead of also the?
It is. You can refill it only. When you buy this and you want to refill it, you have to clean this very good, of course. Yeah. And this water is also filtered twice.
Okay, so not normal.
It's Utrecht has the best water in I think here in the Netherlands, maybe in the world, because we have very good water. It's come from the Heuvelrug. Yeah. And that's how the
same source as Sushi.
Sushi, yeah. Yeah.
It's almost 100 meters from the same well. 3 wells. Yes.
Over there, yeah. It's very, Utrecht water is very good. It's better than Spa or something. But I filtered it twice. It wasn't necessary, but because when the people thought, it's only water, but you sell from €8 or €9. I don't get the €8 or €9. That's the restaurants who sell them, and I sell them for the same price, but. And then let them go. But I'm filtering this thing, and every time after 5,000 bottles, I have to clean everything and to replace it. So it's very. And when you refill it, you also have to clean it very good. But that's nowadays you have to be very careful with illness and everything that's coming in. So you can refill it. You can't you cannot put it in a washing machine because then this will go off, I think. But it's a nice old bottle, and yeah. It's good water, I think, from Utrecht. That's it.
And it's safe also plastic.
Yes, yeah. It is. Yes. Well, I'm very. It was great that the mayor wanted to take the first bottle, and he took the first bottle, and the next day they called me for a couple of boxes because the ambassador from France was coming to Utrecht. And it's very great because Eau de Gracht is a French word, and he gave it. And every now and then they call me for, we have some visitors, can you bring another bottles? And I was, several months ago, I was at the mayor's office, and he gave me some water, and we were talking about other things, and said, no, Eau de Gracht. I said, look at my desk. And on his desk was a big bottle of Eau de Gracht. I said, it stays there forever. And I said, thank you very much. So I'm very proud on the name. So,
yes. And what I like about your initiative is that you also brought some, icons back to Utrecht or enriched them. And what's your next project, I think? Because you have Miffy and...
Miffy 90. Well, nowadays I think about a small backpack for students, and then like the Dom Tower. So every level have a zipper. But it has to be not very expensive, but it would be nice when I see people walking in Utrecht with a backpack with a Dom Tower. I'm thinking about that, but also it's not my main business. It's just the idea that I have, and probably when I go to someone who knows how to produce it and keep the cost low, that is the main thing. And it has to be strong and good, of course, because it comes from Utrecht. So it has to be a good product. And that's what I'm working on now. But I do this everything for free because I have a lot of spare time. So I hope maybe next year I can see that you can see my backpack. It would be nice, but that's what I'm thinking about now. But every time because I'm really grateful that I have here with my education that I'm what I'm now, and that I can do something back for the city. That's what I'm thinking every time. I'm talking with a lot of people from the city hall about new ideas, about everything, and I do everything for free. because I really know that where I came from, well, you heard, with a big family, and how I'm doing now, and I still hope to stay here doing well as I do now for the next 30 years. But only when that always remember when I walk along the Steenweg and I with my children say, here's where Daddy started. And that's great that in very cold and winters and everything that I stood there and I kept on going and yeah, I'm a very lucky guy, I think, because nowadays it won't work that like how I succeeded. But I never give up. I always stay, when I have something in my mind, then I go for it. And if you say no, well, no, then try another way. And finally I will succeed with several things. So next year you see my backpack. Yeah.
Some questions from others.
Thank you very much. And there's a bunch of a bottle for you all. So thank you. Leuk.